We want to continue this topic. So what we were talking about yesterday, right? Putana, the story of Putana, right? And in the story of Putana, what did we have? So we did the revision of the previous slokas, right? Hararuste Gurustrata and Janma Karma Chame Divyam Rake Krishna Mareke. And we had these 3 or 4 topics. So now, yesterday we had the topic of how Putana, in her previous life as Ratnamala, she first wanted Vaman as her son, and then she wanted to kill him with the poison on her breast. And then she came as Putana, and then we heard how Krishna liberated Putana with this verse. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam sayapaya yad apya sadvi lebi gatim datrit uchitam tatonyam kamvadhayalum sharanang prapadye. We learned the first 2 lines, and we'll learn the second 2 lines at the end of this class if we have time. So today I want to continue on this topic of and connect it to what Prabhuji said last night. So sometimes in the classes, what we'll do is we'll just recap what Prabhuji talked about. We'll revise. Like, what did Prabhuji speak about the last few days? So yesterday, you remember, he was talking about this verse, Ahar Shuddhe Sattva Shuddhe. Remember? This Ahar Shuddhe Sattva Shuddhe. That first you should purify your habits of like what you eat and these things, right? First if you want to become established in spiritual life, first Ahar Shuddhe, purify what you eat. Like, take only prasad. There's many verses about the glories of prasad. We'll learn these in the coming days. Prasade sarva dukanam hanirasya upajayate prasanna chetaso yaso buddhir paryavatiste. If you take prasad, then you'll be freed of all kinds of misery. Otherwise, you'll continue to be miserable in samsara. So that's the glories of Mahaprasad. So then, I just wanted to talk about this idea of, so Putana, she was an infant killer, and they would drink the infant's blood. And Kamsa would also eat children. And we see, in this world, there's many kinds of demons who like to live off human blood. Obviously we know that, even in the movies and novels everywhere, that we have this idea of vampires, right? And it's funny because they say vampires, they're supposed to live forever. They're supposedly immortal unless you kill them with a silver stake or something like that, like a cross, right? They're supposedly, so we don't know really if there's vampires or not. This is just supposedly like a myth. But the interesting thing about the myth of the vampire is that we see some analogy, something similar in Vedic India. What Putana is drinking blood. She's a witch. Ravin had 16 sisters named also Putana, and they all would live only on blood of children. So this is what is a witch doing, or also it's not only witches, Kamsa would do this. So it wasn't only Putana, right? It wasn't only his sisters. Ravin does this. So there's one story that actually this is kind of part of the nature of demons. There's a story that Gurudev tells, and it's in Sri Guru Darshan, that Ravin once he thought that I've taken, what is the nature the kings? They like to take tax from people, right? They want to take tax. So one of the stories is that once Ravin sent out his soldiers, the Rakshasas. Rakshasas also actually, we say vampires, right? Vampires drink human blood. But Rakshasa literally means one who likes to eat humans. They're like cannibals. Rakshasa, they devour human beings. That's why when the Pandavas were in the forest in exile, this Hidimba, demon lady, Rakshasa lady, she saw the Pandavas sleeping and she was like, wow, 6 nice rasgullas. Fat, healthy, juicy, They see the human and it's juicy, fat, healthy with all this blood. They think, eating a rasgulla, it's full of sugar juice, and they think, I will eat this. How nice. It's like a mango, we take mangoes and you cut open the end and then suck out all the juice. So they like to do that with people. That is a Rakshasa. So Hidimba saw the Pandavas and she came out thinking she will eat them. But then she came closer and she saw Bhima. And Bhima, she was so attracted to Bhima. Rakshasas, they like bodybuilders also, So Bhima was a very strong bodybuilder, also very handsome. So she became in love with him. And her brother had... See, this is
In love with food.
At one moment she was thinking to eat, and then she was thinking, let me embrace. Why? Prabhuji says, wife is knife cutting life. This is Prabhuji saying. So if she was eating, then one day finished. But if wife, then gradually finishing for many years.
Many years suffering.
Without
Without knife. So she didn't. That time her brother also saw them, and his brother was, not attracted to Bhima. Thankfully. So anyhow, but he was thinking, so then he's good food. So he was coming to eat them, but then Hidimba warned them. And so Bhima got up and fought with them and killed him. So his sister, like it's also Rakshasa nature. At one moment she was thinking to eat Bhima, and then the next time she was attracted to him, like lusty for him. And so she was ready to give up her brother to save her potential lover. She was ready to give up her brother for her lover. Not even her lover yet, her would-be lover. And afterwards she said, I saved you, I saved them all, now you have to marry me. And Bhima was like, marry you, Rakshasa. So he asked his mother Kunti, and she said, Kshatriya Dharma is that if a woman comes and begs you for shelter, Kshatriyas, anyone takes shelter of you, you should give them some place. You should give them give them shelter. So even if a lady comes to you and you're a powerful Kshatriya, then you're supposed to accept. This is the Dharma. That's why nowadays people think, one man, one wife is proper. But Krishna had 16,108 wives. Why? These 16,000 princesses were begging Krishna, please save us, please accept us, please be our husband. All the Braja Gopis were praying for Krishna to be their beloved also. Krishna accepted them all. Also Rukmini, I don't want to marry Shishupal, please save me or I'll give up my life. Then he accepted her. So that's not irreligious. Krishna is a Kshatriya in this pastime. As a cowherder, he is different. Also, there's another part of this story, another place we went to. What?
So finally, if he Kshatriya, this means Maturavasi won.
No, Krishna is not a Kshatriya. Krishna is Param Bhagavan. So he is God. He is God, therefore he is accepting everyone. Also, no, look, because Ram was Kshatriya, but he didn't accept Surpanaka. Even though he was Kshatriya, because he is Maryada Purushottam. He said, I only kept one wife, Sita. But Krishna is so merciful, being Leela Purushottam. It said, even that Ram could not accept everyone, Krishna accepted everyone. Even Kubja, she was hunchback lady. He even accepted Kubja. So that's Krishna's special mercy. So then the point is that there's also one pastime when we went in Kamyavan, Vimalakund. Vimalakund is the name of the King Vimala. Before his name was King Vimala. And he had many princesses. First he had many queens, and first they didn't have any children. Then later on, when they gave birth, he had many daughters. And he was thinking, where will I marry them? And then he asked around, where should I give them in marriage? And then someone said, you should send them to Krishna. At that time, Krishna was still in Braj. So they sent a message to Krishna, and Krishna said, yes, come meet me here in Kamyavan, and I'll accept them all. So all the princesses, all the girls came, and they met with Krishna there, and he did also pastimes with them and accepted them all as his Shaktis. So this is the pastime also. And also that Vimala Devi also appeared there, who is one goddess who came from that kund. So this is one pastime. So anyhow, I don't want to get diverted in this. The point is that in Ravan's time, so what did Ravan do? Ravan was jealous of the sadhus. And he said he was taking tax from everybody, but he didn't get tax from the sadhus. The sadhus are niskinchan. You ask them for tax, it's like, what do I have to give? So he sent his rakshasas out to the sadhus to get tax. And they said, we have nothing to give. They went to the forest areas. We're living in the forest. We're just eating dry leaves and rotten and fruits that fall off the trees. What can we give you as tax? He said, no, you have to give us tax. You're in Kamsa's kingdom. This is the nature of the demons. They think, I am the Lord and master of this earth. Bhupati, Nripati, that I am the master of this land, the master of that land. But really everything is Krishna's property. This is the first tendency, sign that someone is like a demon. They're trying to be the Lord and master of some area, some land. Even Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj was very heavy with some people. They said, I've bought some land in Navadvip. He said, you have bought land in Navadvip? Now you are like Krishna, more powerful than Krishna. This Navadvip is Radharani's place. This is Mayapur. This is like Antardvip Mayapur, this Radhavan. This is her place. What do you think that you are taking? You've bought this place. You've become the master of this place. If you're owning some land, it means like Nripati or Bhupati. But this earth is only Krishna's property. So the demons are like this. They think this is my country, that is your country, and I will acquire your country. But if they realize everything is God's property, then why would you fight over this? There's no need to fight over this land. So Kamsa was thinking, it's my land. So he sent his Rakshasas and he said, now you have to give your tax. And they had nothing to give, so they said, okay, they didn't give your blood. Kamsa said, you give me your blood. And Kamsa thought that if I take the sadhu's blood, I'll become very healthy and strong, and also all their power of their austerities will come to me. And it's also Prudhi says that if brahmacharis are there, sadhus are there, then people like to drink their blood. Why? Because, they're doing tapasya, they're controlling their senses, and their blood must be very sweet. Prudhi said, ladies especially, brahmacharis, then, I want to enjoy the brahmachari. I want to drink the brahmachari's blood. Prudhi says, daytime eating whatever you work for, whatever money you collect, they take that. Nighttime, they'll take your blood. So why? It's very tasty, very young and fresh. So therefore, Ravan sent his Rakshasas saying, the sadhus, collect all of their blood. Make a blood bank with all of the sadhus' blood.
That's how blood banks are beautiful.
So he said, okay, you want our blood? So they cut their thighs open. They brought many golden pots. And they cut their thighs open and gave the blood from their thighs. And they said, take it back to your Ravan and tell him that this blood will be the cause of the destruction of his entire dynasty. All of his Lanka and everyone in it. Like, they will destroy his entire line. So at that time, when they brought it back, Ravan had gone outside to do some other nefarious affairs, kidnapping girls and doing so many nonsense activities. So his main wife, Mandodari, was there, and she said, she heard the curse that this blood will destroy your dynasty. So what should you do with the blood? You should go and bury it outside of Lanka. Lanka is an island. So she said, go and bury it far away, like under the Himalayas or something. So then what did they do? They took this and they buried it in Janakpur, this land of in the land of Janak Maharaj. And after that blood went there, the curse came, so that the entire land dried up. The cows stopped giving birth, they stopped giving milk, the fields stopped producing harvests, and the rain stopped. Why? If something is very sinful in an area, then it said the first sign is that place will become like a desert, no fruits, no harvest like this, and people will be having such a difficult time. So Janak Maharaj prayed, what can I do? And he tried to find some situation. Finally, they told him to arrange to plow and till the land and do some yagyas. So that time, they went and they plowed the field with his wife. She was a very beautiful wife also. For some reason, the sages always like to make the queen plow as the bull. It's a very strange pastime. I don't know why. With Rukmini, with her, said, you'll be in the chariot and she'll have to pull. Why? Because ladies, they have to do all the hard work. It's not so fair, but anyhow. So then they said that when they were plowing, she was pulling, then the plow became stuck in the earth. And the name of this plow that's plowing the field is called Sita. This is the name of the plow, that part, the furrow that's furrowing the earth. And so it got stuck in the ground. They cleared the area and they pulled up this beautiful big golden pot. And they opened the lid of the pot, and what did they see? A beautiful baby girl. And what did they name her? Sita. So it said that Sita is the daughter of the sages. This is one of the ways she appeared in one of the kalpas, that when they took her blood, the blood of the sages, they put it in the pot and they put it under the mountain, and by the divine arrangement of the Lord's Yogamaya potency, Sita appeared. So Sita, therefore, is said that she was the embodiment of this curse to kill all of Ravan and his people. So even though it was said that Ravan, he kidnapped Sita, but she was willingly in one way. In one way, it was like she wasn't willing it. But another way, it was the desire of the Lord and the arrangement of the potency. Therefore, it was allowed to happen. Otherwise, Sita is so powerful, she could have easily killed Ravan. It said one time when Sita was young, he was already attracted to her and lusty towards her, and he wanted to kidnap her. So one time, Ravan came when she was cleaning the palace. She would clean the palace, and they had a bow of Lord Shiva in the palace. And so one day, Janak Maharaj saw that every day, my daughter is going and picking up the bow and cleaning underneath it and putting it back. And this bow is so heavy that even the strongest man I know can't lift it. This is showing how powerful Sita is. And that's why Janak made the condition that if someone will marry my daughter, they'll have to be able to lift and string the bow. Because he thought if a man is not as strong as my daughter and they're married, then it'll be difficult in the marriage. At least someone on an equal level will be married to her. Otherwise, she's so powerful. Just a girl, She's picking up the bow of Shiva that even the most powerful man in the land couldn't lift. So he thought, we'll have to find someone equal in strength to her. So one day, when she was cleaning, Ravan came to try and kidnap her, and he got stuck under the bow. He was coming underneath when she picking up, and he got stuck under the bow. And another time, he came to try to kidnap her, and she was bathing in the river with her friends, and he came under the water, pulling her leg to try and pull her away, and she stepped on his head. And he was feeling so much pain and bleeding, but then she also let him go and he flew away. So Sita was more powerful than Ravan. But then she let him kidnap her. This was to arrange this pastime that she had appeared to in order to destroy Ravan, because he was also very sinful. He was doing so many bad activities. He was also disturbing so many people in this world. He would go into the heavens and steal all the Apsara girls and princesses in this world. So he was always causing these problems. Therefore, it was arranged that he would be destroyed like this. So it's said that in this pastime we see that he wanted to steal the sadhu's blood. And we hear that this is also what led to him being cursed to be destroyed. So why I want to tell this story, because it's interesting. Because now we see in this world that people have this idea. What is the other nature of the demons? Demons like to, they have this false idea that I'll live forever. Who is the greatest demon that we know? The first great demon was Hiranyakashipu in Satya Yuga. He was the first great demon. Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, the two brothers. Right? And they wanted to live forever. Hiranyakashipu did austerities only that I will live forever. He did so many difficult austerities that finally Brahma came and said, what do you want? Because he was disturbing everyone through his austerities. And Brahma said, what do you want, Brahma? He said to Brahma, I want to live forever. This is the nature of the demons. This is like the vampire nature. I want to live forever. I don't care what I have to do for it. I'll take everyone's blood. What does it mean to take everyone's blood? To take everyone's hard work, energy, everything, only for my own enjoyment. And even the blood directly, we see. So Ravan was thinking like this, that I want to live forever. And Brahma said, how is it possible? So even though the demons want to live forever, ultimately it's not possible. Brahma said, even I have to leave my body. After 100 celestial years, I will also give up this body. So I can't give what I don't possess. So take something else. So the point is that the demons have this conception that maybe I want to live forever. Why? They're so attached to this body. This I and mine mentality, that I am this body, and what is in relation to this body is mine. This is the root cause of our avidya, ignorance, and this is the root cause of our demonic nature. From this, then all these different problems come. I am greedy, and why? To fulfill my own sense desires, I will try to enjoy other people and collect other people and harm other people. So this is the root cause of that. This is like where the demonic nature comes from. Krishna says in the Gita that this is like the demonic tendency, that when we are in avidya, ignorance, then we develop this kind of nature. So the demons are doing like this, and we see, why I want to bring this up also is that we see nowadays, even now, this is kind of mentality is going on. There's someone, I can even tell you his name. He is a billionaire in Silicon Valley. His name is Peter Thiel. Okay? Every year, he spends $160,000 transferring his blood and plasma with that of a young person. So this is an industry they started. It said that this is what's reported. Every year, he spends like $160,000. And he's transferring his blood. Like, why? Because why he says, I don't believe in death. I don't want to die. I think I'll cheat death. That is his philosophy. I want to cheat death. So this is the nature of a demon, right? I want to cheat death. If you really want to cheat death, then janma karma chame divyam evam niveti tatvada tyaktva deha punarjama neti mameti. So Arjuna, transcend this material body, attain your true spiritual body, and then you'll be deathless. Then you'll be immortal. But demons are foolish because they're in avidya, ignorance. So they think this gross body will be immortal. And then to try to keep this gross, dead body immortal, the nature of the material body is that it is going towards destruction. There's 6 transformations of material life. First you are born, then you start growing, then you give byproducts, then you maintain a status quo for some period, then you start diminishing, then you finally die. These are the 6 stages. This is the nature of the transitory world. It is said in the Gita, Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata ubayorapi drishtantas tvanayas tart vadarshi. Those who know the truth knows that which is eternal can never become temporary, and that which is temporary can never become eternal. So how can we make this body eternal? It's jud, it's inert, it's rotting. So to keep the body from rotting, we think, I'll take fresh young blood. And we think, no problem, first what people do is they justify, let me take a little bit. Like when you steal. First you steal a pencil, then you steal a book, then you steal a book of money, a checkbook. First you steal a pencil, then you steal a book, then you steal a checkbook, then you steal a gold bar, so it accumulates, like there's a story, anyhow, I won't get into that story, maybe at the end. I want to finish quickly. So anyhow, so we see this guy, Peter Thiel, he's every year spending that much money. And now there's a business in California, Silicon Valley, its name is Ambrosia Inc. Ambrosia, what's the meaning of ambrosia? Ambrosia means nectar. Ambrosia, like elixir. And what is this company doing? I'll tell you what. They spend money, they take money from blood banks. They take the plasma. There's 2 parts of the blood, the plasma and the blood. And they separate the blood cells, the red blood cells and the plasma. They use like a spinning process and they freeze it. And then they sell this $8,000. For $8,000, you can go, Abhiram, if you order in the next 10 minutes, for $8,000, you can go and transfer your blood with that of a young person. You'll transfer your blood and then you get fresh life. They think that, I'll become healthy and young. They did an experiment on mice. The demon's nature also. We see they do the science is based on experimentation. They killed millions and millions of these rats doing testing. And so they found that if they change the blood of an old mouse with that of a young mouse, the old mouse starts looking younger, being more energetic, and it will live longer. So this is the nature of the demons. I want to live longer, so they do it on mice and they start doing it on humans. And now this is like an accepted practice that, I will go and I will transfer my blood. And there's hundreds of people doing this now. And this is a company called Ambrosia. This is the funniest part. They made a company called Ambrosia, LLC, limited company. That and it's also funny because what do? People go and donate the blood to blood banks like Red Cross. This is a charitable organization. They donate the blood to Red Cross. And then they freeze this blood, and then they sell it to companies like this, and they make a profit also, a small. So and also it said that most of this blood, the people who are giving the blood aren't giving so much money for it. Like you go and I should help society, so I'll donate blood, and then they end up selling this blood for $8,000, and then for $8,000 you can go and get a blood transfusion.
This is illegal, like.
No, it's a company.
No, but those for like taking money, taking blood.
I have some quotes also from this guy. His name is Karmazin. The guy who owns the company, his name is Karmazin. Karmazin. Jesse Karmazin is his name. And he says, this is good, what's the problem? We're helping people to live longer.
Those people who donate blood, they like.
You can't donate directly to it. It said that in some places you can donate blood and get some money, but it's not really so accepted. And some people say it's not like legal. But mostly it's blood that's coming from donor banks.
So how do donor banks have the right to sell the blood?
Research and, maintenance of cost, this and that. They also use it for hospitals. Hospitals and doctors also buy. You can go, if you're a doctor, you can go and buy from a blood bank.
Really?
Yeah. So other people can set up this practice also. So this is public. That's my point. This is all happening in the public. So what is happening in private? If something like this company is a public company in America, Ambrosia, nectar.com, buy fresh young blood. You have to be over 35 and you get blood of someone like 20, 18, 17. Avram's getting ideas. Not too fast.
Yeah, me, right?
This is fresh blood, ripe. Like ripe cherry, ripe tomato blood. Full of Shastra. This is what demons think, So anyhow, this is going on. So what is happening in private? That's the point. This is happening in public. They're selling the blood, $8,000 you can get blood transfusion. So in private, there are stories that are much more horrific. Kidnapping babies, there's a whole market. We see in Brazil and other countries. It's so dangerous. Your child can get kidnapped at any time and just gone. What are they doing? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, smoothie.
Sucking every day, once a day.
In Russia, also a lot of kidnapping.
And generally people are saying, okay, if this is helping people live longer, it's good. So then I'll tell you something that happened recently. Recently I was doing a script for a nearby school. And the chairman, I was every day meeting with the devotee principal, like regularly, and we did a script for them. We'll also have we did a nice drama. But one day the chairman was there. And he asked, he was being a little critical. He said, sadhus, there's one problem with the sadhus. What is that? They're not donating blood. And I was immediately thinking, yes, very good. And he was like, for 20 minutes, he was talking about this. He's saying, sadhus, they think that, you collect money from people, collecting, and then giving a little bit of a feast, and then saying, we're so great, you glorify us. He said, why aren't you giving blood? He said, if the sadhus were giving blood, if the gurus were telling all their disciples to give blood, then we'd have no problem for blood in this world. All the blood banks would be full. But what's the benefit of filling the blood bank? If you just drink the blood? This is the demonic nature. Prabhuji said, I asked him, is it good to donate your blood or donate your kidney, donate your liver? He said, what you donate, all their karma will come to you. Like when you die, they're trying to push this in India, donate your organs. When you die, if you get in a car accident or you die, then all your organs go to the hospital. And then they have liver entree, you know, and kidney soup, you know, and heart pakora, and like brain kheer. Not brain kheer, they make like brain steak. Fried, you know, in the middle of bread. You know Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter was doing this. He was a very nice gentleman, and he would eat brain, like stir-fried brain, kidney, liver. This is the cheeks. He knows.
Ay jamun.
Jamun. But even so, they're saying that for truly, also some is going for so-called health purposes. Like someone gets in an accident, then you're supposed to, when you donate the blood, then you need your own blood. You need to take from the same blood type. So the question is this moral or not? Like, in some cases, is it good? Because this person, Sharon, was saying, like, look, this is very bad. That we're only collecting money and, you know, using it for feeding people. But why don't you give your blood, you know? Blood is the essence, you know? Give your blood. And you're saying all these gurus, all these sadhus, they just need to learn how to tell everyone to give their blood. That not only will we take the blood from, but you have to preach this. This is the nature of like demons also. It's like, oh, please give me your blood, Abhiram, please. Give me your blood. But if I'm more arrogant, I'll say, Badmash, why aren't you giving me your blood? Like, or at least let me be humble, like, Abhiram, please, 2 liters. I'm thirsty, you know? I want a smoothie, you know, please. But then the other nature is that like, Abhiram, why aren't you giving me your blood? Sajan, why aren't you giving me your blood? You know, I will put it in my bank and freeze it, and then, you know, make popsicle. Smoothie, Slurpee, you know?
Blood cola.
Not only for humans, like we're thinking this is gross for humans, but what are they doing for animals? What is the condition of the animals? We think it's very difficult for us humans, but like for animals, no mercy. Every year, 96 billion animals are killed in slaughter. 96 billion. That's more than 12, like 10, 11 times that of the human population. 12, 13 times the human population is killed every year in the most gruesome manner, only to fill the stomach. This is only animals on land. And the fish, over like 150, 200 billion. Billion. You understand? So this is the nature of demons. So Prabhuji therefore said, Ahar Shuddhe, Sattva Shuddhe, Sattva Shuddhe, Vipramotsa, that Sadgati, right? We'll learn this verse also. How to get the best destination. If your heart, if eating isn't pure, what you eat isn't pure, then how can your life become pure? Ahar Shuddhe, Sattva Shuddhe. Your existence is Sattva. Sattva means your existence, and Shuddha means pure. Your Sattva existence can't be pure if what you eat is not pure. So if you're thinking, even like you're not eating the blood, maybe you're doing transfusion. But if I'm taking out my blood and putting in your blood, when you eat something, it goes into your stomach, it digests, gradually it turns into blood. Like one part of it becomes blood, then that turns into virya. So that's the point, is that this is still taking it. It's still like some type of consumption, and this is sinful. So for societal reasons, for emergencies, for some types of death, then, you know, who is to say? That's a question we can discuss. Like, is it bad, you know? In some cases, if we have to take blood. We can discuss this in the next lesson, or not. Okay, so if anyone needs, then I have the contact number for this Jesse Karmazin.
Okay.
His name is Karmazin. It's very funny, you know? He's making a company called Ambrosia, and his name is Karma. He's taking all the karma and thinking I will give you nectar, and charging $8,000 for it. And he's saying, oh, this is my expenses.